how would you like to make your first million? And today we have Sean Tepper joining us, and he's the founder and CEO of Tykr, a platform that helps people buy and sell stocks with confidence. Today, that company has over 12,000 customers in over 50 countries. So Sean, tell us, what are the 5 steps that you recommend to tech entrepreneurs in order to achieve the first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Yeah, the first step would be you got to understand your customers' pain points, whether it's a B2C customer. In our space, we started with B2C and are working into B2B as well. Otherwise, if you're B2B, you have to understand customers. You have to have a pretty good idea what the pain points are before starting the business. That leads to step 2, which is you need to ask questions. Too many people out there go and create something first. That can be a big waste of time and money. So you got to go out there, ask questions, not just one customer. You should be talking to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, collect all the data points to really unpack the pain points. Then step 3, this is really after you create, because by that point you should have validation of what you need to create. Step 3 takes a long time, which is reducing churn. I see too many people out there raising capital and spending it all on advertising when they don't have churn. In a subscription or a SaaS business like ours, the issue there is once you're sending money in one door and right back out the other. You want your customers staying, so you got to get churn to ideally less than 5.75% per month is the key metric. Step 4, increase conversions. So after churn is reduced, you got to figure out how do you get people from, visitor to trial to paid. Most SaaS businesses have a trial period. There's really 2 mechanisms in there. You got to think about, okay, getting that visitor to trial conversion ratio dialed up above 10% and get the trial to paid above 10% as well, because you want as many people flowing to your business as possible. If you get 1 million people hitting your business, you only have a 0.5% conversion ratio. What the hell is wrong with you? You want a 10% or higher. That's where you make some real money. And then number 5 would be, now it's time to establish channel partners. Too many people out there thinking about, okay, paid ads with Facebook, Google, YouTube. Maybe I'll use social media, maybe email marketing. That's all cute, but we're big businesses, and that's a lot of my past experience working with big businesses. They make the majority of their money through channel partners. So find other businesses that already have your audience and do a rev share. You want to get in front of hundreds of thousands or millions of people in one day. That's how you skyrocket a SaaS business. So those are the 5 steps on how to get to a million or above business.
Customer acquisition, the biggest challenge for tech entrepreneurs as a software with SaaS models, software as a service, because B2C customer acquisition is expensive, especially in this space, Sean, right? Where so how you mitigate this challenge, along with the second challenge that somehow you have to differentiate yourself. You have to have this that thing unique that you guys do that the rest of the platforms don't.
Sure.
And you have over 12,000 people there in your database in the subscription. I think this is an amazing result. It's actually a validation that you guys are doing a great job. So how you manage to differentiate yourself out of the whatever thing is out there, and how you stay in an environment that there are big giants always looking, and they are seeing, shall I buy him or shall I do it myself? And how you mitigate all these challenges?
Sure. So we'll touch on the first thing you mentioned, which relates to CAC, your customer acquisition cost. So with Tykr, we actually don't have a CAC. I decided not to do
Wow,
any. Yeah. So,
really?
well,
That's amazing. That
well, that CAC
that-
relates
I'm
to
about to give you
your.
the gold medal.
It relates to if you're using advertising to bring in customers, which we are not. Um,
Wow, that's
so
very
that's why
impressive.
we
Well
don't.
done.
Three ways we generate
Well
leads.
done.
Number one is SEO. So, and that takes about 2 or 3 years to start working, but it's something most businesses should put into place today. Get your SEO in place because it's going to pay dividends later. It's
There
not
you
an
go.
overnight, right? It's not an over.
Oh,
You
but
don't get
everybody
rich
wants the
overnight.
money now.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
wants, yeah, doesn't really
yeah.
work like this. Very good. Well
Do
done.
it, do it right. So that's 17% of our leads. Another
Wow.
17% of our leads
My
come
God, very
from,
good.
yeah. Another 17 come from YouTube. So I got a YouTube channel just teaching people how to invest and doing stock reviews, really simple videos. So that's number two at 17% as well. And then number
Wow,
three,
your YouTube is doing amazing.
yeah, yeah. I tell
And that
people
is
you should,
unique. Yeah. Because people
yeah,
like you, trust you, they're not gonna go anywhere else. They will
correct.
they will like to go, and I'm a big fan of that one, by the way.
Thank you.
That
Yeah, then,
differentiate you, basically differentiate you with the rest of whatever is out there, because
yeah,
the people know who's the CEO, who's the person behind that business. That helps a lot,
correct.
and they know what they're
Transparency.
talking about. No, they know what they're talking about. It's that's brilliant.
Yeah.
What else?
So number three is the majority of our leads come from, I mentioned earlier in the top five, channel partners. So we partner with bloggers, other YouTubers, influencers, other fintechs as well. And what we do there, no CAC, it's a rev share. So I'll give you the numbers here. We give
Mm.
30% commission to our
Wow,
affiliates for the first year, and they'll
that's
use Tykr as
fantastic.
another revenue stream. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's fantastic. And there you go. You see, Sean, we 105 multimillionaires. We interview over 500 millionaires, and 105 that we interview they're tech entrepreneurs. And
Hmm.
we always see the stories, what they're sharing with us, right? And product market fit, okay, we see a lot of tech entrepreneurs out there that they don't get the product market fit, and all they're looking is to find a VC that give them
Hmm.
money so they can go and buy advertising to sell the product. And there you go. You have the solution. You have laid out the solution in front of everybody. They should be lucky that they're listening this podcast, because and that you share this piece of information, which is actually how it really works. And when you are a tech, when you have a tech startup, because when we discuss customer acquisition, especially software services, could be a huge expensive if you go on and advertise in the traditional ways. So my question to you is, where do you learn, or how you, what where do you find the inspiration to find this approach, which is very uncommon, with what we see out there? Obviously here we only listen the story of the successful tech entrepreneurs. I spend a lot of time with the other part of the equation, with those ones that have a tech company and they have pitch deck and they're looking for finance, and when we look at that, well, we want the money to for advertising to sell it. I'm like, guys, look, this is no, is it doesn't really work like this. We need to keep the cost down. We need to find some partnership. Exactly what you described, right? So, what
Right.
message do you have for entrepreneurs out there trying to get the product market fit, software as a service tech, and all they're doing all day long is writing the pitch deck, improving the pitch deck, and get desperate out there to find VCs to give them money to sell the product? It's
Yeah.
really gonna solve the problem for them?
Well, you look at it from a mathematical standpoint, and only 1% of businesses out there actually successfully raise venture capital. So that means, like, all right, so out of the gates, that means most people are thinking, okay, 99% of us are going to fail. It's like, how do you reduce the failure rate? Well, the trick is you keep your day job. Like I kept my day job for 3.5 years, not 3 months. It was three and a
Me
half
too.
years.
Me too. For 4 years,
Yeah.
parallel, I was building my business. That's a good
Yeah. They
one.
work on your business for about 10, 15, 20 hours a week and get it to the point where you know who your customers are, you know what they want, you reduce the churn, you get everything dialed in first, then start making money, and then you can go full time. And it takes a long time, but the probability of success is significantly increased if you keep your day job. That's the trick.
Yeah, and I remember it was actually not 4 years, it was actually 2 years when but building my business. I remember that for 2 years I kept my job in London as a room service in the Hilton in Canary Wharf.
Hmm.
While parallel I was building my business was a property business, and I remember when I have an order of a burger, all I'm thinking is praying that is in the highest floor. So like this, I have time in the lift to send the messages to the tenants and to do the viewing for my property. So I literally build the business in the lift or the doing the room service. Yeah, you shouldn't do
Hmm.
that. Yeah, you should do your job, and then when you finish your job, then you should work in your own business. But if you have some killing times, I was multitasking back in the day, long time ago. So the whole point of the story is that um, this is a problem that you have to solve, Sean. Yeah, nobody will come and solve it for you. It's not gonna be this magic VC that's gonna give you the money so you can practice with this money how the clients to acquire the clients for your client for your cause for you, and you have to be creative, right? Because in the traditional way, uh, it's expensive. That's why when I'm checking what you're doing, all these that business, particularly that industry that you are, they are giants that with a lot of money. I'm thinking, wow, how come he's he's standing right in this market, in this with this so competitive and with so big giants, that those guys, those big boys, they really invest heavily in marketing and in this and that. We're talking about a
Hmm.
lot of money to get as most clients as possible. And you have platforms, again, tech companies, they have high valuations, which is something very good about this. Um, but stay unique. So, any more ideas, Sean? I love your idea of the YouTube channel because the that makes that company that you building attached to yourself and to your personal brand and to who you are. And more clients want to have this relationship to know who's the person behind the business, what the values, how
Hmm.
they really think, if they align. And of course, you're gonna bring to your organization people that believe what you believe. So if you're in this YouTube channel and you believe that the stock is gonna do well because of whatever, and you sharing, a lot of people will believe what you believe. With find that what you're sharing with them is logic, and if on top of that they they can even increase the revenue and make some money, that would be amazing. So what with the differentiation point of view, right?
Hmm.
What else can you share to for tech entrepreneurs, okay, or for entrepreneurs
Sure.
is different, how you build this unique uh, how can you start to differentiate yourself a little bit from the marketplace, because this is a huge market, and now you penetrate in the market. It's really small piece of the pie, right? But you know what, people can copy your platform, but they won't be able to copy you. They won't be
Hmm.
able to copy your YouTube.
Sure.
So you that's it. Nobody can come and compete with you. You have whatever market share you get of what you're doing, that's it. It's yours.
Sure.
Nobody and this is very important when it comes to tech businesses, because I see in a lot of cases that when something start to take some traction, Sometimes big companies, they are evaluating, well, shall I do it myself? Shall I buy this guy? What should I do here? And you know what I mean? And if you're not differentiated strong enough, they can, and there is nothing unique about it, they can replicate and duplicate very easy. It's sad, but it's happened a lot in the tech space. So any more ideas, any more point of view that
So
you
how
can
we're different?
share? Yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't mind, yeah. People should be
Yeah.
paying for this. They're getting a lot of free advice. Yeah. Next time,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start to charge to people to listen to this podcast.
What could have been a 2 second question was 10 minutes. Thank you, sir. And I'm just teasing you.
I talked too much.
How are you different from the competitors? That's four ways. Number one is our calculations. The algorithm that I wrote that powers Tykr is open source for personal use. So what does that mean? Well, it means that our customers can go see all the math and how we get to our ratings. And we've got a traffic light rating system where stocks are either on sale, watch, or price. Makes it super easy to make a decision. Well, that's open source. However, we do have patents. So if people try to take it, well,
Wow.
yeah. So that's one way. Number two is when you join, you can see my portfolio. Kind of put your money where your mouth is and know like how many CEOs of our platform are showing their portfolios.
That's a
Probably slim
very
enough.
unique way of differentiate yourself. Very good.
Yeah. Number three, we do have the highest Trustpilot rating in our industry. We're a 4.7 out of 5 or out of today or as of today. And then number four, we
Wow.
actually,
So how is
yeah.
this revision? The members review the platform or?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So when people join, we do, after they use the tool for a while, we do ask them, hey, what's your honest review of the platform? What can we do better? And that's where we get a lot of those reviews. Now, number four is we do use AI, but we actually use it in a quantifiable way. What does that mean? Well, we reduce hours, if not days of research down to seconds. Not too many people are doing that as well.
Wow.
So those are the four ways we're different.
Wow, that's fantastic. And this the strategy to prompt the AI, because everybody say, well, I can use AI, but it's not about that. It's about asking the right questions.
Correct.
So the software can give you the right answers.
Yeah, we got a tool called the 4M Confidence Booster. I'll quickly list out what the 4Ms are, but it reduces hours, if not days of research down to seconds. So the 4Ms of finance, like analyzing a stock, are number one is the math parts, or you could call it the margin of safety. That's all the mathematics. That's all number one. The second M is the meaning of the business. How does it make money? How many revenue streams does it have? And how scalable are those revenue streams? The third M is the moat. How does that business compare to other businesses? And the fourth M would be the management. That's the track record of the CEO. Doing homework on all four manually, again, could take you hours, if not days. We have AI connected to reduce that down to seconds. And that took, get this, about 6 months of prompt engineering to get that right.
Wow.
It was, painful process, but we put a patent on that process.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's another way of differentiating, right?
Correct. Yeah. That's one of the four ways of how we are different. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And then, so what message do you have for the people that want to invest in a stock and they want to make money fast, right? And it goes good. Gets really look at you laughing. So it goes related with the risks. Yeah, everybody wants to make money fast, and then it comes with high risk, right? And people that want to be patient. And how about those stocks that generate cash flow, right?
Sure.
Rather than which is one of my favorites. Yeah, I'm a big fan of cash flow, right? So what can you share with for potential new investors? Okay, probably they might be listening to this podcast. How they should be balancing the portfolio? They should have a portfolio only based in capital growth, or they should have a portfolio based 50-50 in capital growth and 50-50 in cash flow. What is and in terms of risk and getting the money back,
Sure.
What is realistic? Okay, which is how real world works, or what is la la land? Because you see sometimes these I find it very grounded, right? But people go there, they go to YouTube, they go to the internet, they find someone with a Lamborghini, and they say, "Hey, this is gonna be my coach, my mentor, my platform to invest in stocks." And then they go there. You're gonna make a lot of money tomorrow. All just to have to do is invest here, and then they lost all the money. Nobody, nobody know what's going on. So, what is reality and what is la la land, and in this industry, so people can have an
Yeah,
idea how real uh,
sure.
works, how reality works. Go ahead.
So we tell people that if you want to get rich quick, we're not it. And yeah, right.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah. So there's investing and there's trading. 99% of traders lose money. We're all focused on investing. So with traders, you are still trading your time for a paycheck. You're working for money. Whereas with investing, you're getting your money to work for you. That is critical.
100%.
Now, can you make a lot of money overnight? No, but thanks to compound interest, you can make a lot of money in 5 years, 10 years. For example, more millionaires out there have been created in any other way than the stock market. That is the most by a long shot. Well, the reason is the 401k. You are mandated, especially here in the States, every paycheck is pulled or a percentage is pulled out and put into your 401k, which is essentially a bundle of ETFs or index funds or maybe mutual funds. That'll take you 30 years to become a millionaire. Fine. With Tykr, based on the no guarantees here, but we're cutting that timeline in half, if not into a third, because we
Wow.
don't, we analyze ETFs, but we're really good at analyzing individual stocks. Now, if you hold an individual portfolio, like we tell people 10 to 15 stocks, the S&P 500 or most index funds will get you about 10% per year. A lot of our customers are getting about 15 to 20%. Again, no guarantees there, but we're seeing the
That
data.
sounds amazing, right?
So instead of becoming a millionaire in 30 years, let's do it in like 10 to 15 years is how I tell people. So you do have to be patient. You got to take a little bit out of each paycheck and put it into the market. You can't sit on the sidelines. But yeah, most people, if you do this right with the right discipline, you can become a millionaire.
If you can pick, like you said, 15 stock, 15 winning stocks, those
Hmm.
ones that have high performance, they can give you a better return, right? I heard that
Correct.
some stock I heard actually in this podcast with all the guests that were sharing that some good idea would be invest in stocks that people use every day. Like we can say Facebook, you can say the
Sure.
YouTube, you can say Google, you can say I don't know Uber, whatever. This is one of the parameters that people should be looking at, or it's actually more a little bit more complex than this. It's not that easy as okay, let me invest in things that we use every day like I don't know, Uber, Facebook, the daily use things,
Sure.
and you know this company, Apple, for example, these companies are gonna grow a lot because everybody's using them every day, and say we can say Coca-Cola, things like this.
Hmm.
And versus other stocks there that could be a new tech company that they're coming with something amazing and new technology, and because we don't is not in front of the common eye. We don't know it, but it has a huge potential. So
Yeah.
how people should be balancing this?
Yeah. So it's always good to start with what you know. Like in my case, I know tech really well, but if somebody says, "Hey, Sean, you should invest in pharma stocks," I I don't know enough about pharma. Like I didn't work in pharma. I don't have a medical background or a pharmaceutical background, but yeah, start with what you know. But in Ticker,
Tech
you
is good,
quickly
because tech has big growth.
they can, yeah, tech more than most business models. This relates to the meaning of the business can scale significantly faster. Like for example, Ticker is it's a SaaS business. We can have 10 subscribers tomorrow. We could have 100. We could have 1,000. We could have 10,000.
Easy to
Like
scale.
yeah, very easy to scale. You don't have to take on a lot of overhead to support that many new customers. So Yeah, it's nice, but yeah, it's Tykr guides you to find some really strong stocks. It's actually pretty
Wow.
easy. You'll kind of start with what you know. Let's say Coca-Cola. This is not stock advice, but maybe a Coca-Cola or an Apple. You'll take a look at to see how it's rated, and then you'll kind of see other stocks like it that maybe have better ratings, and stronger returns over time. It's like, okay, maybe I found a hidden gem or something else. But again, goes back to you want to find about 10 to 15 stocks if you are still building your wealth. That's where you want to be as you near retirement. Then you can switch to ETFs, index funds or mutual funds, or a portfolio of like maybe 30 stocks or more. Like, for example, Warren Buffett has Berkshire Hathaway, which owns about 40 businesses. Gives you a good idea. Like he's diversified at 40. He made his first million investing in about 10 stocks, 10 individual businesses. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then but a big value for this is that in your platform you share your portfolio. That I think that is a lot of value. So people that don't have so much knowledge or don't know how to evaluate the stocks, yeah, they can have as a good reference to see your portfolio. Maybe they can kind of model. Sometimes you say you don't need to reinvent the wheel. So it's very kind of you that you're sharing your portfolio with your clients, with
hmm
your um. So, what the biggest challenge that you have faced starting and growing this business, and how you overcome the
Yeah.
challenge?
Yeah. So I used to be a person that would fast and fire slow. Well, you need to actually flip that equation and hire slow, fire fast. So I
I've
unfortunately
been
brought
there
on some of
also.
yeah, I brought on the right people and just want to steer the business in different directions. They didn't have empathy for the customer. They didn't want to even talk to the customer. There's level of arrogance there, naivety, and it's like I had to get rid of them. And nowadays, to get hired at Tykr, it is actually extremely, extremely difficult. We're very sports minded. One of the questions I'll ask people, tell me your opinion or what is your description of field awareness or court awareness? And we've got people that work at Tykr all over the world. So one of the most popular sports around the world happens to be soccer or football. But so we've got a lot of sports-minded people that are into soccer, and we'll use a lot of analogies. We like people who are team players, but also have strong field awareness where you can get stuff done. You don't need to be told what to do. You don't really need to ask. Like you know what needs to get done to put points on the board. So if you don't have that, if you don't know what that is, like you don't even have a chance of getting hired at Tykr.
Yeah, and it's important because it's all about culture, right? And when I ask tech entrepreneurs here, um, if they had to start all over again, what thing
hmm
they would be doing different? They would say, Harry, culture. If I knew that it's gonna be harder, and we're gonna bring people in the organization. When the culture doesn't meet the culture of the business, right? Then there is a
hmm
disalignment, and then especially in a startup, could literally kill the business. Just bringing the wrong people and staying there. It's not the wrong people. I don't like to call it the wrong people. I like to call it that the culture that the company have doesn't match the culture of those individuals, and we don't know that when we start the business. We're just hiring people without. I'm a big fan of multitasking, yeah, and every company that I had and every future company they're gonna have, there will be one characteristic that we're gonna be very few employees and they are high performance like rock
hmm
stars. This is how I operate since I've been in business 18 years. So of course, if somebody in the cultures, I never hear in my organization in 18 years somebody come and tell me, Harry, this is not my job. Any of my employees, because since we bring them, they know that we are. This is how we rock and roll. We are a small team, very proactive, very solution focused. You have to come out with the. We multitask. Every day is a new challenge, and we all work together to solve the challenge. Um, whether few people that we brought before in the company, they have different culture. They were this mindset, okay, this is my job, this is not my job, this and that,
Hmm.
and really didn't stick with what we were doing, and they're feeling uncomfortable, we're feeling uncomfortable. So in the end of the day, we need to let them go, yeah. Or other people, that came to our company that stole money, right? We don't steal from anybody. So somebody come and steal, well, you cannot, definitely cannot be in the company. So things like
Sure.
this. So when do you realize that culture match is gonna be the key of your success?
Oh, immediately now, like we need the right people on. Otherwise, if we have people that they're not pulling their weights or doing their job, like they're done. And that's so critical. I've heard, and I'm not there. We've got
It's
7 people
difficult to
in
get rid of
Tykr.
them because sometimes you bring them and you feel responsible that or sometimes even worse happened to me. Somebody make a mistake and brought them into the competition, into the company.
Yep.
And now, when they are inside, I'm feeling kind of responsible to try to do my best to make that person fit. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it doesn't work, despite that I do whatever it takes.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can
They
only
say it's
interview so
alignment in culture.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
There is
anyway,
a, yeah, tough to things that we need to go through because otherwise the company won't survive. So what advice do you have to the people um, developing software as a service that they're listening this podcast in terms of overcoming adversity and you were talking something about sports, how you keep your mental health stable because when it's so much pressure, especially if you're in charge, we have to pay salaries, we're responsible for our employees, and at the same time we need to find new clients. We have so much pressure as CEOs that sometimes this emotional pain, especially big in the business, when nobody knows you, and because nobody knows you, people want to pay you less money, and nobody knows you, supplier want to pay you, charge you more, and all this negative emotion can become physical emotion, and you can get sick, you can get overweight, you can have an impact in your body. So how you keep pressure as a CEO and the balance with your mental health and your health, because from this broadcast we believe and we want all the entrepreneurs to be healthy, wealthy, and happy. And appears that some people are telling me that this is impossible. I said, no, it's possible. So, what is your view on this?
so I'm big on work-life balance. Ticker's work week is actually the 4-day work week. We only work Monday through Thursdays. Fridays is for golf, especially during the warmer months in the year. Colder months where I live at Wisconsin is like I'll work a half day at most on Friday. Otherwise, I can kind of do what I want. But yeah, I'm big into sports. I do a lot of mountain biking. Again, golf is probably my main thing, and then mountain biking. Do a lot of kayaking. So yeah, like I got to be doing something. Work is like, you've heard the whole question, are you working to live or are you living to work? And I do not believe in hustle culture, working around the clock. It's all about working smart, help your customer, talk to your customer, keep making a better product for your customer, rinse and repeat, and then go enjoy life.
And being effective when you're working, right? It's not about
Busyness.
the time that you're working, just be there, be effective. And sometimes, even this Friday that you're doing golf, you might think that oh my God, I'm relaxing here, I'm not working. But guess what? When you're coming back to work, you are more productive, you're more effective because you have the mind balance. The other thing is why we have businesses, right? We have businesses to have a good lifestyle, right?
Hmm.
And the good thing about this is you can design your lifestyle. You're not gonna believe this, but my day off, my favorite day off, you know which one it is? Monday. It's amazing. We did this discovery long time ago, and you won't believe it's amazing to don't work on Mondays. The cinemas there is no queue, the restaurants they are all empty. It's brilliant this thing.
Hmm.
Rest of Monday, amazing. right? And so you can design your life as an entrepreneur in a different way, and and you do this business like you said, all to serve our customers, but also and it might take a while because of course now you're speaking now, but at the beginning of the startup, of course that you have to work, Monday to Sunday and wear all the hats and all this because until you get the product market fit and so on, you need a little bit of intense work. But this is just the beginning. But one people start to buy the product, one the thing start to work, you can, as a CEO or even everyone in the team has to have this work-life balance, so they are more effective when they're working, and also they have a good they're in a good mental health state, so they at the end of the day can produce more. Um,
Yeah. So
how
what's
you
your
articulate
question?
that with your kin? The question is this one.
There's a lot in there. Where do we start?
We start in. Do you encourage your team to also switch off? How sometimes
Yeah.
we have to reflect the mirror of our employees. So
Yeah.
how you articulate that in the company?
Well, yeah, as I tell my team,
You go
like,
and play and golf with them, for example.
well, we all live around the world. So I'm the only person from Ticker in the US.
Ah, wow.
Everybody's outside. Yeah. So I tell people, like, take off time. Fridays, go enjoy time with your family. And if they're working on a Friday, like, please don't. And if you do, like, maybe take off Saturday, Sunday. Like, I don't want people working weekends, even though, to be honest with you, I do see some of our teammates doing some work because they like it. But I tell them, I'm like, just so you know, I'm not going to respond to Slack or email on weekends.
That's the
Like,
problem. Yeah.
yeah, we get the media team if they're editing video or doing something creative and fun and you're enjoying it, great, but I'm not getting involved until Monday. So there's that.
Yeah, welcome to the club. We just had this conversation with our team today, right? We want to give them flexibility, but at the same time, I say, guys, we can otherwise we don't rest. We want
Hmm.
to get you around the clock, but and you can do it in your own time, but we only can give you feedback when we are around because we don't rest. So how is it running a company with employees all over the world? They are all working
Hmm.
online. I have employees for 12 years that they have been amazing. My directors, whatever, I never seen the face, never shakes their hand, never, and they've been working with me for years, and they have been so fantastic and so key in our success. And they know me better than I know myself. When I tell them, okay, I want to develop this, this is the idea that I have. When they come back with with what I
Hmm.
asked them to do, it's something 10 times even better than what I thought. They how and somebody would tell me that we think that this is impossible. So how effective and amazing could be having online uh, employees and to have a global team with people that you never met in person, right?
Well, thanks to technology and especially after COVID, a post-COVID world, it's like Zoom, Teams, Google Meet. Yeah, so we're big on Zoom and we're big on Slack. Like we'll touch base engineering team is every Monday and Thursday, whereas our media team is just Monday. And it's just a touch base. What are we working on? What are the goals for the week? Divide and conquer, go. And then we'll touch base via communications via Slack. And that's it. We rinse and repeat that schedule, week over week, and that's what works for us.
Thank you so much. So, Sean, if somebody's in love with the conversation, want to learn more about you and what you guys are doing, how people can find you, how this process work?
Two easy locations. One is Tykr.com. That's Tykr.com. And then you can find me on LinkedIn.
How, for some people, remember listening in the car, how they can find you, what they need to type?
Oh, yeah, Tykr, Tykr.com. Tykr.
And like that, they will find you also in LinkedIn, right?
Yep. That's correct.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Sean. Have been a pleasure. And for all of you following the broadcast, see you in our next interview. How great entrepreneurs of Sean break that wall and are achieving the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.